Hello everybody and welcome back. We are back with What If Had the Narrator. And because the person who runs this whole show, this show, we are working on more things like Calamity Geographic, which is now under new ownership by Riptide, and other shows which we starring your favorite idiots as they do random shit for views and just to have fun. And we are back again with our favorite protagonist, one of the best in our opinions. This is ours, ask a whole Calamity Crew. We are back out with our opinions with the protagonist as he ventures his way through the Poppy Playtime factory. And because I'm getting paid more to do this, how nice. If you remember last time we left off, the player made his way towards the game station after meeting with Poppy, who he released with her case after dropping a box and slam dunking Huggy Wuggy back to the past after he did the bite of 87 to us 3 times at least. The guy sucks at this game, which is why he also forgot to tell me how many times he died, as he did not want to release that. So go back and watch stream and clown on him in the comments, please. Back again though, we are here in chapter 2, make our way for the game station, and we are on the last game, and we'll see what will happen next to our favorite unnamed, unknown protagonist as he continues his way through the Poppy Playtime factory. And yep, we do hope you enjoy this narration brought to you by the narrator. As the TV turns on in the next game statues.
Welcome to statues.
The protagonist looks around curiously, seeing if for some reason there's a giant drop if you fall. So he knows not to fall. Turning his flashlight on and off, he tries to ignore the instructions and look around, seeing something kind of ceiling actually. Is it ceiling leaking? He hopes the place is a good piping network because he doesn't want to get his suit all, or whatever he's wearing all dirty. And then we have a giant
Your test is over.
The protagonist curiously walks up to the PJ Pugapilla, realizing they actually look kind of adorable. It's a floppy tongue, black soul size, and just cuteness stayed in mind before looking up at the control room where they see Mommy Longlegs. The player ignores what she's saying as it has probably no lore relevance as far as they know, even though it kinda does, but they don't care. They don't get paid enough to deal with this. Seeing Poppy who they need to get back, the player annoyingly has to do this. The player realizing that she just realized they worked here. The player panicking realizes shit. She found them out. The player, despite having to now run away from a very adorable looking doggy, begins to run, for some reason very slowly and with not a lot of urgency. Thank you, character, for not having any sense of urgency as you get chased by the PJ Pugapilla. The character continues and sees PJ right behind them. The character, not wanting to become a dog toy, continues through a foam pit, where they are very slow because Mob tried to make them extra slow, so they couldn't get away from PJ. But you would want to get away from PJ. He's adorable. We're only saying that though because we don't want to get mauled by a dog. Pug. Caterpillar, we don't know what he is, but we don't care because I don't get paid enough to do this. The character continues through the pit, stopping just so the PJ doesn't turn them into a dog toy. The player, after going through a slide and reaching the next side, they see they should go for the easy tunnel. They then turn around, because for some reason the person who does this loves turning around for no reason at all. Then the person doing decides to go backwards. Just to freak themselves out, the protagonist looks behind them, slowly backing through this tunnel. They didn't think to themselves that they screw up. Oh, and then they see PJ coming down slowly, tongue out, happy as ever, knowing that they're about to have a fresh new toy in the form of us. The person doing this is probably terrified and forces the protagonist to run, but they can't run right now because PJ is coming and is hoping that the lights turn off soon, which they do, and they continue. The character looks around for like the billionth time because they don't know when the dams stop. They continue running, using as much as their little legs, or big legs, saying they're probably a full-grown man. And I say man because who else would have the balls of steel, no pun intended, to come into a factory like this? They see PJ behind them and continue to run, or at least as much as you can while having to go through a ball pit. They then notice the door blocked and panic. PJ right behind them. So what do? The most common sense thing. Break through a window and cause minor property damage. But then fall to the death because the guy's an idiot. Ah, entertainment, isn't it beautiful? After the protagonist has a pretty good fall, down to his death, they wonder if they got a checkpoint, and pray they do because the person doing this is terrified of this section. And thankfully, they did. Sadly, they weren't able to get any juicy lore letters. But it wasn't like this guy was gonna read that shit anyway. So the player jumps across, hearing Mommy behind them. The player, knowing that it's absolute bull, decides not to and continues on. The player, knowing that it also was rigged because of you. Again, the player knows that's bullshit, so then continues to run. Then the player questions she's the one who blocked off the path, so why is she calling them a cheater? Then realizing that was just trying to get us to die, so she could watch us get absolutely turned into a dog toy by PJ, they continue to run, panicking and wondering if they will ever be alive, or survive this nightmare scenario, and wonder why they came back for the pretty idiot employees that they worked with, as the employees could have just quit a very, very long time ago. The player runs through the vents, wondering, well shit, I might be dead. They then use their grab pack and continue to go through random giant holes, realizing, damn, what a shit construction company Playtime hired if all this stuff is already collapsing. No wonder this company failed. The player thinks. They pick up another note. They then slap a button a couple of times, wondering what it does. They then jump down. Walk around and see it's some sort of toy moving area. So they then press some buttons and realize they can control it with these buttons. With this new knowledge in hand, the player is there being a dent and push the right lever. The player then continues up. And then they see another button, a blue button, their favorite color. Because the person doing this, blue is their favorite color. Very boring choice, I know, but it's their choice, not mine. I'm only the narrator. The protagonist looks around for any more buttons and realizes what they just go down a little bit. Maybe it's a button they missed. And yes, indeed there was. A yellow button. A very ugly color in their opinion. But who knows, they don't really care. And slap the button, which is a red button. A half-decent color, in their opinion. They then grab a toy, which they will need to unlock a door, go back down, and realize, oh right, this night they might die to a giant spider, so they continue. Wondering if they'll ever see the light of day again. And continue onwards. They go back up where they need to redirect this now, to allow them to get to the, where they need to actually scan of a toy. The player annoyed because they don't know how to work the damn machine. Continues to press buttons until something works. And then they eventually get it to work. Slapping their Bunzo toy and wondering if they'll get to keep it. Probably not, but who knows. They open the door and continue onwards, realizing that much they forgot their Bunzo toy. Not really caring about that ugly toy anyway, they go into another vent. Once the idiot can find it. Then they go into another vent, praying to Calamity they don't have a Cassie then to them. If you don't know what I'm talking about. We'll be doing a ruin playthrough, and you'll see what we mean then. Because apparently that girl just loads of pull through vents for some reason. The player, knowing what they need to do, jumps across after getting a green power source, slapping it in harder than ever before, using their blue hand. And after completing their puzzle and wondering what the reward will be, they go through the vents, knowing that they can finally get out of. Oh, and what is this? It's about time the game eventually did that a Cassie, dropping them through the floor and through a vent. The player realizes alas. After looking around, they look up and then get jump scared. Well, not actually, but the woman long legs comes out of nowhere. Pissed because even though she was the one who cheated by blocking off that exit, the player decides to slap her. The player panics, wondering where they need to go. Running down the stairs as they don't want to break their ankles. The player looks around the old, weird, creepy, abandoned, underground area, where pipes are sprawling around everywhere. They look around and wonder where they need to go next. But when they see a staircase. Going up the staircase, they find a barrel, which they can jump onto to get through a small hole in the wall. Thank you, Playtime, for having shit construction methods, the player thinks as they make their way through this and through another hole. Another dead fill hole, they think. Why so many? Something's been burrowing, and they hope it ain't no blow up like from ruin. They duck and go through and fall through another vent. This time, the game, it wasn't actually planned, they just found it. The vent kicked open. The player walks around, goes to the left, and sees a lever they can pull. The player not one to miss a beat of pulling a lever, it opens the door. They ride the elevator, or conveyor boat, this time not being forced to like in chapter 1. Grab a Mommy Longlegs trophy. Before continuing onwards, knowing that Mommy Longlegs is probably ready to come eat them. They open up a brown door, which creaks open very, very, very creepily and slowly. They open another door, which also creaks very slowly, it makes a very loud creak. They think, what are they in, a horror game? The character looks on and wonders what they're supposed to do. But then I know something. A red wire near one block. Then I see a blue wire near a 2 block. Then a green wire near a 3rd block. And then a yellow wire. They realize red, blue, green, yellow. So they try it out. They pull a red lever, then a blue lever, then a green lever, and then a yellow lever. Surprisingly, or not so much to surprise the player, it opens the door. They walk through, being careful to avoid Mommy Longlegs. Mommy Longlegs then comes out of nowhere ahead of them, and the player, or protagonist, begins to run like hell. The player then pulled themselves up because the idiot who was doing this grabbed it, but let go like an idiot. Before finally pulling themselves up and waiting for the safe symbol to appear. Before jumping down and continuing on ahead towards where my long legs came from. The player questioning just how big this place is, but then stops questioning it after getting a headache from thinking about it, continues on. They grab random gear and find something. They insert a power thing into what seems to be... What is this, I think? I realize it's a furnace. And then go up towards the beeping and find they can insert a gear into there. Once they do, they go back to the furnace and wonder what it's doing now. They then open up the furnace doors and see a gear magically in there and wonder, wow, what crazy and not 2000s, 90s, 80s technology to make gears out of thin air. They then pull a lever to open a door, which they use a tight gear they found to open. They then walk across the platform, and Mommy Longlegs comes out of nowhere, of course. They then grab a power source, shove it into the furnace, then close the furnace door just so they can avoid Mommy Longlegs. They then hold it closed, wondering if she's gonna come kicking down the door FBI style, as they crouch in the furnace, afraid, and they hear nothing. They then push open the door and continue onwards. They look up and see 05 above the door they just opened and wonder, what does that mean? They real quickly look around the room and seeing just a random walkway, continue onwards. Then they see a random lever and wonder, what is this for? There's no door, but they think, hey, maybe some sort of contraption to get all this cobweb out the way. The player, after stepping back, pulls it. Mommy Longlegs comes out of nowhere. They see where the furnace was all blocked. The hallway begins collapsing, so they go through a walled door. They then jump down and continue running, panicking. They then go through a hole in the wall. They make their way through very, very thin tunnels while hands reach out to grab them. They then look up and see a red bar. They then run, and then grab onto another bar, which they use to jump across a giant hole as things collapse all around them. They then jump down and wonder where are they. They see the words emergency exit, which they thankfully open. They then see a door for Blue Hand at the end of the hallway. The player, not wanting to get involved, tries to run for it. They shoot at the Blue Hand, wondering just how far away Mommy Longlegs is. While the door begins to open, boom! Mommy Longlegs appears out of nowhere at the end of the hallway, running at them at full speed as well. When in pace of speed for a spoiler, am I right? Yep, that's me. You might be wondering how I got into this situation in the first place. Well, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now back to the story.
What have you done? You make me part of you! You can't do this to me!
As the player, unhinged as hell, watches Mommy Longlegs get dismembered right in front of her eyes, watching her head plop firmly onto the floor, after again grinded up, and then see a strange clawed hand take her head away slowly. They wonder what law implications this will have, but don't care. The player, after nearly dying to Mommy Longlegs, decide to continue onwards. After taking a few stairs, they continue up and up and up and up and up. They look around for more stairs and see another staircase right in front of them, because the person doing this is blind as hell. They go up another staircase, turn to the right, and see a hole in the floor because again Playtime contracted the worst construction company in the world. They then get to the top and jump across like Superman. Player walks around and then eventually finds the way out. Seeing a tape recorder but not really caring, they continue. After taking a few turns, they see a yellow door. They open it, go forward, and wonder where Poppy is, after they had last saw her with Mommy Long Legs, who is now turned to shreds. But not really wanting to worry about that right now, they continue onwards. After being a dunt and missing the turn they need to go to, and then after getting confused again as to where the hell they need to go, they realize they got stuck on the door, and that's why. They find 2 pieces of paper, grab it, and then they need to remember Poppy existed, and grab the last train code from her. Poppy standing there on the control panel looks down at the player.
Did you kill her?
The player nodding their head.
I'll board the train. We need to leave.
The player, all ready to step ahead of her, prepares to leave. Looking around the huge game station, seeing the bodies of the monsters that tried to kill him, except for PJ, because apparently Mommy was surveyed to kill him. Because who would? I mean, you see that dog. The player moves on to the train. The player boarding the train uses the green hand to open up the other side, because they had already opened the side opposite them before. Once boarding the train, they use the code to again to unlock the door. If the person doing this wasn't an idiot and could actually aim the trigger. They then switch the colours and then try to remember what the code was. They think they remember it. They then get annoyed because they can't figure it out. Then they get even more annoyed as they try to figure it out. They didn't realize what in the order they knew to do it in. They realized they had to do. They realized they had it the wrong way, and then eventually get it. They then grab onto a bar, pull it down, and begin to leave. The player, satisfied and happy, decides to blow the whistle. The player, hoping Morb didn't make a third game where they have to suffer, goes on, looking back at the game station, with no emotion at all, and realizes they're ready to get the hell out of here. The player watches as the train, while that they're in, begins to move. The code entered, Poppy somewhere, and all things look good and ready for them to get out of here. They sit back and relax, but there's no chair so they can stand, annoyingly. They crouch, pretending they're sitting, and look out the window, but then stand back up and prepare to get out of the factory that they also wanted to leave. But then Poppy starts talking.
But you saved me. You are perfect. Too perfect to lose.
The player confused.
I'm sorry.
The player realizing that Poppy has just stopped them from leaving realizes no. The player looks at freedom, seeing it now gone, as Poppy redirects the train.
Well, too long.
The player realizing that they're not leaving panics.
Time to figure out exactly what I would do when free.
The player trying to break out realizes no.
Things have happened, but I know that whatever I need you to do, you are capable.
The player realizes no. The player realizes what's that and realizes that something happened to Poppy. The player annoyed wonders now what, as the train speeds up, they honk the horn, but nothing The train speeds up faster and faster. The player wondering what's happening. Puppy didn't let him leave after she said that he would. The player panics, trying to press every button he can. Nothing's working. The train's speeding up and everything's going crazy. The player runs back and forth. He looks forward, trying to hit everything he can. The player sees an alert. The player sees an alert. Alarm bells going off. The player panics, wondering what's happening. But then they see it on the screen. A red flashing light. The words "stop train" on the screen. The player panics. They slap every control and then see something. A lever. They try to pull it. The player pulls the brakes, pulling as hard as they can. The train goes down a hill, speeding up more and more. The player pulls as hard as they can, when their hands flailing, and then boom, the train flips. The player is knocked out, and the player slowly fades in the darkness. As the player looks around, the last thing he says is the words "play care" before finally passing out as the view fades to darkness. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of probably Playtime Chapter 3 or 2 with a narrator. The person doing this probably isn't getting paid enough to do this, so I hope they don't quit anytime soon. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe to this channel for more content. Now, I'm gonna go harass DJ for a better paycheck. And we'll see you all on the next one. And now, excuse me, I have a DJ to harass about my next paycheck, and whether or not I'll get paid more for probably Playtime Chapter 3. And yes, that is still in the works. And if you're wondering, yes, this is your neighborhood friendly narrator, saying this now. I hope you enjoyed. And if you're wondering, I don't actually sound like this. I sound way different. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Now, I have a DJ to go harass about my next paycheck, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what we should do next here on this channel, so... I love my job. And remember, keep the chaos going, Calamity Crew, and remember, stay awesome.